on the agenda is Tarver vs. Hopkins. Just happened this past week as of this recording. No telling when I'll get around to actually putting it on. I'm a little lazy. But, Tarver vs. Hopkins. Okay. Well, yeah. What did you think?
Well, as you know, I picked Hopkins to win the fight by decision. But I certainly did not think he would win that convincingly. So I thought he would win maybe by 7 rounds to 5 or 8 rounds to 4. But absolutely perfect performance by Hopkins.
I have to say, I had not given Hopkins his props. I had always said he would call people out from welterweight up to middleweight. He did that twice. His 2 biggest wins were up until that point. Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya both blown up welterweights, and I didn't give him his credit because he wasn't willing to do it himself with Roy Jones Jr., which I still kind of feel that way because he priced himself out of the fight basically after the Felix Trinidad fight. Anyhow, I have to give my tip my hat to him, my proverbial hat to him, because he really came out and he showed that he is a true light heavyweight. He showed that he's way better than Antonio Tarver, that's for sure. And he kind of dented Roy Jones because Jones got knocked out by this guy in 2 rounds in their second fight. He didn't have a great fight against him in their first fight.
He did beat him in the first fight, but he definitely struggled with him more than Hopkins did at all. So Hopkins really showed up Roy Jones, I believe, also. And if he were to ask for a rematch with Jones, he would actually have a good negotiating stance that he deserves more money right now, I believe.
Right now, I think it is Jones that should be asking for the rematch with Hopkins, actually, to help boost his image again. I'd love it. He beat him. I'm picking it now. He would beat Hopkins.
I agree completely. He's too fast, and he just moves around too much for Hopkins, who doesn't have that good of footwork or speed, and I think Jones would just stand on the outside and just pot shot him over and over again. Yeah, probably win a decision.
Now, the critics would say something about Jones and Hopkins, Jones's chin. They question his chin. Well, I don't think Hopkins hits that hard.
I tend to agree with that because he wasn't that hard of a hitter at middleweight, and while he did knock Tarver down, and Tarver's shown a pretty good chin over his career, Hopkins, he still doesn't have that one-punch power, and I don't think it would be enough to really rattle Roy Jones with at this point. So I think Jones just stick outside, and he should probably win a comfortable 12-round decision.
If the fight gets made.
Yeah, hopefully it does. Maybe.
It's a big question, though. I don't really, right now, I wouldn't think it'd get made. Hopkins did say that he's retired and he's staying retired. We've heard that before from people. We'll see. After that performance, it's hard to imagine. Okay, the next topic we'll go to from last week also, Cotto versus Malignaggi.
Well,
what was your take?
Well, I haven't got a chance to score the fight officially yet. I scored it 6 rounds to 6, actually, so that gave Cotto the 1-point win with the knockdown in round 2, but Malignaggi absolutely showed tremendous heart, showed that he was willing to stay in there and just fight Cotto. I think he would have been better served to fight him on the outside more and use his boxing skill, which is definitely superior to Cotto's. So,
I did have Malignaggi winning the fight, actually. I had him up by 2 rounds, which gave him the win, basically. 115-112 was my final score, and I felt he overall controlled the fight more. He used his game plan to survive Cotto, who was supposed to knock his head off, according to most of the critics out there, I believe, especially most of the boxing fans.
Yes.
I think some of the reporters weren't necessarily saying that. Not all of them. A lot of them were. But